Right guys, so today we've got another Japanese car on the channel, and it's something that I've never actually had on my channel before, so it's quite an exciting time. I love Japanese cars. I love 370Zs, which was like the earlier model of this car. So today I'm going to show you around and go for my first drive in my new Nissan 370Z. Right, before we get on with this video, of course we're right now in the time of the coronavirus, right? And I don't want to sort of pretend like things are normal, because they're definitely not normal, but I'm kind of doing what's available to me, and that's filming videos. My videos are generally delayed a couple of weeks on YouTube, so meaning what's being shown on YouTube right now was probably what happened 2 weeks ago. So right now we're open at Binker and it's quiet, if I'm honest, but that's probably expected, and just in my nature to keep positive, keep motivated, keep on it, hence the hoodie, and just keep plugging away, man. It is what it is. So I hope everyone's well, by the way. That is absolute priority. Hope you've got food on the table, and hope your family are well as well. That's really important. So I'm just going to continue with my content plan and hope things get better and let things improve, right? So Nissan 370Z is a car that was just taken in stock, of course, because things were normal, and then everything just suddenly goes weird. So what I'll do is I'll put the camera down here and we'll go for a little walk around it. Here we go then. So straight away, for those that know what a normal 370Z looks like, you'll notice that this doesn't look like your average 370Z. It's got a different body kit on it. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know what the name of the kit is, but I think it really suits the car. And I'm not actually a fan of changing body kits on cars. Like my M6, for example, has got the Vorsteiner splitter kit on it. I think that's acceptable on a German car, but changing bumpers and stuff, it's just not me. But for some strange reason, Japanese cars just pull it off. You can just go as extravagant as you want on a Japanese car, and it never ever looks wrong. This is obviously the next car on from the 350Z, and again, I mentioned that I was a big fan of them, but these headlights, I love the shape of that. This is what I like to do, highlight features on cars. Love the shape of them headlights. This is obviously a black car, and as you walk around it, you'll see lots of little Z badges, because this is like the Z range. I'm pretty sure this was like maybe the 6th generation. I read that on Wikipedia this morning, could be wrong. Still got the stock wheels on it. Lovely set of wheels. It just needs spacers, again in my opinion, spacers, and maybe lowering a little bit, because that gap there is like really playing with my OCD. That don't look right. The front wheels don't look so bad. Obviously I turn at the minute so you can't see that too well, but forged wheels, and then as you come around the back, I think this is where this body kit really does shine. The rear bumper really suits the car. I think it's definitely looks amazing from the rear. It's got a nice presence to it. I think they have in general. They've got big bulky arches at the rear, at the front as well, to be fair. They've got a nice presence and a nice stance, and I think that bumper does it a world of goods. Exhaust, so this car has been modified slightly. This exhaust is a beautiful thing. If we climb underneath here, by EMP Performance. Lovely job of that exhaust. It's proper nice. It sounds amazing. I'll start the engine, of course, in a sec. It's a 59 plate car, so it's one of the earlier 370Zs, and it's like a little GTR in it, but without turbo. So we've got exhaust, and then if we jump under the bonnet, I think the bonnet latch is on this side. Let's quickly talk about the interior. Something else this car has got is an iPad in the centre of the dash there. I'll show you that in a sec. But let's get under the bonnet. Show you the modifications. Another little Z badge there as well, look. Another one on the steering wheel. Few little red touches in there. We'll talk about that when we jump in, but let's get under the bonnet. Keeping the petrol head life alive, guys. Keep talking about cars. Let's keep life good as we can in this rather frustrating time of life. I'm trying to do this with my head on the look. Can't find the hole. There's the hole. Yeah, should be good at that, shouldn't I? But under the bonnet, we've got K&N air filters. Obviously one on each side because it's a V, so it's feeding air to each side of the V. It's a V6. It's a 3.7 litre V6. Obviously the 350Z was a 3.5 litre V6. Standard, I think the 350Z was about 300 brake or just short of that. And these are about 330 brake, so a bit more power. They weigh about the same, although some stats say that these weigh less. About 1,450, 1,500 kilos. Quite a lightweight car. It's a two-seater car, and they're naturally aspirated. Now this car has got, like I say, it's got the filters under the bonnet, it's got the exhaust, and it has got a remap invoice inside of the car. We've got no dyno. Standard F330 brake. You don't get massive power gains out of a naturally aspirated car, as you all know. So at a guess, we're probably going to gain about 20 horsepower. It probably drives better, or delivers power a lot better than an average one. So we're going to say it's around 350 brake, just to be sort of safe. All right, so let's put that back down. Job done. Hop back on the inside. It's cozy in here, I ain't gonna lie. It's bloody cozy. We've got an automatic gearbox. Pretty sure they come with a manual gearbox as well. Automatic's probably a bit heavier, but it'd be interesting to see what that gearbox is like. It's got paddles on the back, identical paddles to a Nissan GTR. I actually owned a Nissan GTR for a long period of time. Those that have followed me for a little while will know I absolutely adored that car. I was a very, very proud owner of a GTR. So this is going to be my first drive in one of these cars. I'm genuinely interested and excited about driving it, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like. We've got a heated seat, which is a little spec option that I love. In fact, let's just start the engine. There's the key. We've got a little keyless fob as well, so engine start button just here. It sounds, doors closing, it sounds so much like a GTR. I'm not joking. I'm curious if anyone's ever heard a GTR start and heard one of these start, let me know. It might just be because it's got the exhaust on it. It's got a nice, that's cold start by the way. Let's jump out the back. It's got a nice purr to it. Yeah, it sounds really nice. V6 it would do, wouldn't it? So jump back in on the inside. We've got no fuel. Yep, if I just close that door, yeah, range, yeah, we've got no fuel whatsoever. And this car's done 72,000 miles, all right? So what we'll do is we'll go get some petrol put in it, and then we'll go for a drive, all right? Hold on, sorry, let me just flip that over. The iPad, there's actually an iPad in it. Like, again, this wouldn't go down well in most cars, certainly not German cars, but in a Japanese car, it's just, I've got connected to, probably got connected to my phone, and but in a Japanese car, it seems to just pull it off, doesn't it? Very random, ain't got a bloody clue how functional it is. Interesting thing to see inside of a car though, for sure. Whoever owned this car definitely like tinkering around. It's got a Pioneer amp in the middle there, and a couple of 6B9s by Vibe. Sound system's probably quite good, but I just thought I'd just throw that in there before we go petrol station. All right, let's we need to prioritise and get petrol, I think, because it's low. All right. That's it. Got a bit of fuel now, a bit of V-Power. V-Power's like the same fuel in it in theory to, I don't know if it's exactly the same as Tesco Momentum, both 99 octane. But V-Power's always so much more money. A bit annoying, but yeah, anyway, don't worry about that. We ain't here to talk about fuel prices. A lot's going to change over the next few months, no doubt. Anyway, so irrelevant conversation. We're in a 370Z. That's what the point of this, or the purpose of this video is. And so far, my little journey to the petrol station was quite an interesting one, because I can't help but think, like in my mind, I'm just thinking it's so much like a Nissan GTR. Although it's not, it's nothing like a Nissan GTR, but I suppose being a Nissan, it's going to have similar sort of characteristics, isn't it? If I can squeeze through, yeah, thank you guys. Get out of your way. Now, the funny thing is, driving in normal mode, so you just put it in drive, and that's like in your normal average driving mode, yeah? I used to do that a lot in my GTR, just chill out and just put it in drive. And that mode on most automatic cars, or cars with dual clutch gearboxes or whatever, have that mode is generally really bad. It doesn't really do as it should. But in my GTR, it was brilliant. It just went up the gears, put it into a high gear all the time, and the power was always there when you needed it. And this is doing exactly the same. I don't think this is the same gearbox, by the way. I'm going to throw that in. I doubt it very much. I used to get lots of chattering and lots of noise coming from my gearbox and tick over on my GTR. Normal, perfectly normal, but this doesn't seem to be doing any of that. So I should have done some research beforehand, but I just wanted to get out for a little drive. So what we'll do is I prefer, as ever, to drive in manual mode. Even then, give it a little rev match. So I dropped it from 4th to 3rd there. Nice induction noise and pulls really well. So sounds so much like a GTR, man. I know I keep saying that. Kind of like a hollow echo. Is that a good way of explaining how this car sounds? Really nice sound. So let's see what it drives like. Cars in the way, they're all driving at 10 miles an hour. I want to drive within the speed limit, of course, but I can't. Something I can talk about, the gearbox is brilliant, by the way. Something I can talk about anyway is the Nissan 370Z. It was one of the first videos, I would say one of the first, or really early on in my channel, when I started getting into making videos years ago. I had done a 350Z video. It's a convertible car. I remember it's got no leg room, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The way it puts power down, brilliant. Naturally aspirated is very predictable power, which is quite good. You know, there's no sort of spikes in the rev range. It's just really consistent. As is this. This is really good, actually. Very annoying. I'm just like, this car in front of me. Who's this idiot just creeping up behind me? But manual gearbox, 350Z had, and it's just a real driver's car. You can just get in it, have a proper tear up, have a great time, and feel confident and feel on top of the car at all times. So yeah, the gearbox is great in this car. Rear wheel drive, it's putting power down absolutely fine. The roads are dry, although there is a little hint of damp out there. They're dry. I don't think it's got quite enough power to overwhelm the rear wheels, but it's a nice level of power if you want to have a bit of fun. So I've now got a transit van in front of me. Do you know what? Let's quickly talk about transit vans. I love a transit van. Absolutely love them. I think they're just great. You can feel like you can just take on anything if you've got a transit van. I used to be in the building trade, completely gone off subject now, and I had a Irish transit van. Got it remapped, had a great time in that van, and yeah, that's my thoughts on transits. Roadworks, we won't talk about my thoughts on roadworks because it's not important at the minute. This sign behind me here is really doing my head in. Let's get that out of the way. In fact, that's a good point. We can talk about the price of Nissan 370Zs, because that is what's important. Because right now, I think a lot of people in the car market, a lot of private buyers, going to look at downsizing or downgrading and getting stuff on a, I wouldn't say on a budget, but being a bit more sensible about what they're buying. So affordable sports cars, there's a huge market for sports cars in general, and affordable sports cars is a massive market. So it's something that I've always done. I've always sold affordable sports cars, and I think this is at a good time in its life where like, it's 10 years old, and when they come out they're unaffordables for a lot of people, and they're now at a price point where a lot of people think, you know what, that's me, that's my kind of motor. So they start at about £10,000. This car's done 72,000 miles, and this is priced at about that sort of price range. And yeah, so far I'm loving it. As I said about the 350Z, it just puts the driver in a position of comfort and confidence. There's such an easy thing to drive, and with this gearboxes just provide so much quality and character to a car. Back end lit up a little bit there, and this gearbox is absolutely spot on. It is so good. And Japanese cars, of course, they're super reliable, so as you tear your Japanese car down the roads, you're confident that it ain't gonna go wrong, which is always a nice feeling. Bit of damp on the road there, back end little bit sketchy, but it's pretty good. pretty good, and I think that's what this car will give you. It'll give you heaps of fun and loads of smiles, and that's exactly what every petrol head wants to achieve after he's just jumped out of the driver's seat of his new car. First gear. Yeah, this is brilliant. Very stable, very firm on the road, very drivable, and to be honest with you, it's exactly what I expected it would be, just an improved and more drivable version of a 350Z. So I'm gonna wrap the video up. Like I said earlier in the video, it is a funny time in a minute. It's a funny time for everyone, so don't think if you're in a situation where you're panicking or you're worried or you're unwell or anything, it's a funny time for everyone. I really hope the best for everyone, man. I want everyone to come out the other end of this whole virus or whatever it is, this situation, and come out of it good, because it's going to be a learning curve for everyone. It's going to be a change of path for everyone. You know, me myself, I've got to look at what's going to change in my business and what's going to change going forward, but it'll be a good time and everyone will be fine. And I just hope that those that do get this horrible thing come out of it good, and yeah, just positive. I'm just looking for positive endings, right? So I'm going to continue filming, like I said, keep updating ya. I will do a video about my business, because that's going to be an important subject. At this stage, it's just quiet, if I'm honest, but as the weeks unfold, things will change, and my quality, if you like, is I'm very good at adapting to things. I grew out of nothing. I'm not scared of having to be resourceful. It's fully what I'm about, so I'll just continue to do it forever and it'll be fine. But yeah, man, I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a good time. Whilst you're watching this video, we could be on lockdown right now. I don't know where things are going to go, but it's all a very interesting subject. I can't talk too much about it, because like I said, there's a delay between the day of filming and the day of uploading. But yeah, man, I think I'll leave it as that, alright? So I hope you like my video. YouTube is something that I really want to focus on a lot at the minute, because it's something that I'm fully in control of. I can film, I can edit, and I can upload videos. So if you are new to my channel, definitely hit subscribe. I'm uploading a new video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. That might increase, I don't know, depending on how much I manage to film. But when I say increase, I mean temporarily, whilst there ain't much going on at work, but we'll see, alright? But yeah, hit subscribe, hit like if you like the video, give me a follow on Instagram as well, at Calvin's Car Diary. Keep positive, keep on it, and keep healthy. See you later. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, well, basically, I've got a bit of news for you, and it's nothing to do with the 370Z, by the way. It is car related though, and I'm going to save that news for the next video.